Okay, we're gonna wait just one more minute for Karen, who just stepped out quickly. So we'll start at 5 after if Karen doesn't come in before then. Okay, I would like to welcome everyone to the Diversity Inclusion Task Force meeting for May 8th, 2024. If you could please take the roll, Lee.
Starting with the council, Councilmember Ryan.
Here.
Councilmember Nick Farr is absent. Councilmember Wellner is absent. Vice Mayor and Chair Thier.
Here.
Mayor Fredericks.
Here.
And the at-large members, Hawea Wash is absent. Karen Carrera is here, thank you. Ruben Calra. Nushin Latour. And Tina Shaw Pikeday and
Here.
Vice Chair.
Okay, great. And I want to start by saying that we are going to take introduction of our new at-large member later in the agenda. So I'd like to start with the community engagement, which is the first will be the Nowruz event report.
Hi, everyone. Arkavan Nul Farouche couldn't attend. She helped chair the event this year. However, many of us were there. We all kind of agreed it actually went really well. It was the second time doing it, and it was at a new location at the Zelinsky space right here. And she reports, and I think a lot of us agreed that it was an ideal space. It was very easy for people to get parking. They could actually do the fire barbecue setup, which we couldn't do at Main Street last year. And we think the attendance was roughly 350, more than 300 for sure, but the space is more like a plaza square. So it was, yeah, it was quite different from Main Street where it's stretched out. So you can't really gauge the numbers. So yeah, I think everybody was pretty pleased with it. Thank you for those of you who could make it. And I think the only difference with Main Street is you get less of the organic, maybe ferry traffic, but then it was packed and it was a success. And everybody involved was really thankful for the support of the DITF and town council. And I think there was some coverage in Marin, the Marin newspaper. No, my mind is
Marin IJ.
IJ and ARC. So we're also happy about that. So Tiburon is leading the way in many cultural events. It's really exciting. Thank you, everyone.
And I just wanted to say a big thank you to Nushin. This event, it's the second year and it's been very, very successful. And we just all want to say thank you to you for all the work you did. I also need to take public comment. So let me see if there's anyone here in the room that would like to speak about this. I see we have 5 people today. Do we have people online?
Seeing none.
Okay, thank you. So I will move on to the AAPI Heritage Festival and ask for an event update. And I think our speakers are, did you want to come up? Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
My name is Anne Marie, and it's nice to be back to give you guys an update on the festival. So planning has been going pretty well. It's been pretty smooth. We're just kind of at the point where we're just, doing a few last minute odds and ends. But I think most things are in place at this point. The banner has been put up by Public Works and it is there at Blackie's Pasture. I'm sure some of you may have seen that. There was a wonderful article in the ARC newspaper today by Naomi Friedland about the festival. We also were able to buy some ads in the ARC. We did put it out in Tiburon Talk and the Chamber of Commerce and the Ranch and the Mill Valley Rec. And we also, posted a flyer along Main Street. So I think we've done hopefully a good job and people know about the festival that it's happening. And pretty much everywhere I go, I try to take some flyers with me and pass them out. I was at the Senior Expo at the library, did a week or two ago, and it was a wonderful event, and I was just passing out flyers there. So in addition to the people who we talked about originally coming to perform and table at the festival, we have managed to reach out to a few additional people. The Asian American Alliance of Marin will actually be coming to table as well. And so that's been nice that they were able to fit it in because May is Heritage Month and they're really busy with all kinds of events. So Terra School is also coming. They have a preschool inclusion program, a Chinese immersion program, I think, and APA Family Support from San Francisco is also coming to table. We also were able to reach out to the College of Marin. There's an Asian Pacific student group there, and they are coming to help us with setup, and that was really nice. The Asian Alliance also recruited for us some high school students from Terra Linda High. So it's really nice. We had some volunteers. So we had talked about our dim sum vendor that we are having. In addition to that, we were able to get a shave ice vendor. So I think if it's a nice warm day, I think a lot of people would really like that. And so I think that's a nice addition. And I just learned today we will be having free parking. So the lot adjacent to Town Hall will be free for everyone. And of course, the library lot is also free. So that's nice. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I have. Albert, do you want to add anything?
Hi, my name's Albert Yu. Nice to be back here. Yeah, no, last time I was here, I just proposed the initial idea for the event. So we've certainly come a long way with the event being out a week and a half. And yeah, no, we've definitely promoted it everywhere around Southern Marin as well as in San Francisco and just with different groups throughout the Bay Area. We've definitely gotten a lot of great response here locally, just from people excited that Tiburon is doing such an event. And as Nushin mentioned, that's definitely, I don't think any other the other towns in Southern Marin are doing anything like this. So that's definitely putting Tiburon on the map. And I guess we can just hope for good weather and hope it doesn't rain like last Saturday. But yeah, I think we should be okay.
So I just want to thank you so much, Albert, for coming forward with the idea and for all the work that you've done, Albert, and all the work that you're doing, Anna Marie. I mean, this is amazing. And this is exactly, what the task force is about and wants to see, get the community involved and bringing in events and working on them and making it happen here in Tiburon. So I just want to say a big thank you. And I want to open it up and see if other people would like to say anything. And I also would like to ask you to just repeat the date and the time, just in case people are listening and want to know when it is and where to be.
Absolutely. So it'll be next Saturday, May 18th from 2 to 4 p.m. at Zielinski Park between City Hall and the library.
I also just wanted to say thank you for organizing this event. Asians are the largest minority population in the town of Tiburon. So to be celebrating the heritage at the Heritage Month is just terrific. And the fact that you've been able to bring all the community members from different parts of both Marin and San Francisco is very commendable. I think those best practices are something that we could pull into some of the other events as well. So thank you.
And you have been thanked and can't be thanked enough for organizing the event. But another thing, which Tina touched on, is just the ability to bring people together to do it together is a really important part of these events. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support.
And just wanted to let you know that I actually saw it mentioned in Marin Magazine as well. I don't know if you're aware of that. Like 2 weeks ago, there was actually like a solid mention. So great job.
And your work doesn't have to end next Saturday. We would love for you to come back and help us and, we can work on some other things coming up. There's definitely, a lot of fun and interesting things to do with the task force, and we would love for you guys to come back. So June, our meeting in June is the same week of the month. So hopefully we'll see you. Okay, I will ask for public comment just because our events are being reported out. Any public comment online?
Seeing none.
Anyone in the room? Okay. Then I'm now going to go to Juneteenth, and I'm going to ask Ruben to do an update.
Well, terrific. I think it's, it's awesome what you guys are doing, Anne Marie and Albert. It's just great to see the community hear about what we're doing, and it's like this chain effect. And with Juneteenth, which I think kind of helped put us on the map, we're ready to go bigger and better with our fourth annual celebration. And speaking to that, word is spread. So I'm getting people reaching out, going, can I get involved? Can I, be part of the volunteers? We got the Buffalo Soldiers coming out with the horses again, which is like great for the children and the community. And even this year, we got an amazing band. It's Harold Jones and the Big Boss Band. Harold Jones used to be Tony Bennett's drummer, and they just sold out like a 300-person venue in San Rafael. And the special kicker is one of the participants will be Noah Griffin. So we're gonna have our own on the stage.
And we love to hear him sing. I remember when he sang during a council meeting.
Yeah, so we're definitely have some good music, good band, and it's my 4th year, so I needed to get someone to help me out, and so I just want to let you know that the co-chair for the event, she will be here soon. She's manager of children, is Howie Awash, and she has some amazing ideas as we put this event together. A lot more kids-focused ideas, some potential food vendors, and who is it? The Southern Marin Mothers Club. Sagel reached out and they're like, hey, we'd love to get involved. We have 1,300 members, a ton of volunteers. We'd love to lead some kid activities and, get volunteers. So it's nice for someone to clean up, but besides myself and my good son over there. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting event. I think we're excited about it. Even the car show reached out because we're on the same day, but co-marketing the event just because it's going to be a nice destination weekend for both Tiburon and Belvedere, because we have the car show in the morning. Belvedere has an information session going on. And then we have the Juneteenth celebration. So we'll keep you all posted. Even Sin Lounge is getting involved where we're thinking about a post party and maybe even relevant movie screening. So I'll keep you posted next month about it, but we're just trying to evolve this into something being bigger and better. That being said, budget's a little bit up this year, but there's costs have gone up dramatically just for even sound and stage. That's sometimes one of the disadvantages of Main Street compared to maybe Zielinski. Sound and stage prices doubled. But in the grand scheme of things, I think we're going to be fine overall for the budget of all the events for the year. We've been under budget by I think $1,500 for the past 2 Juneteenths. AAPI's under budget by $3,000 right now, and so I may just be able to compensate for that difference. And I'm still waiting on the city of Belvedere and Tiburon Peninsula Foundation meetings to maybe get some funding. So anything that comes through would come back. So only action item request is just to increase the budget by $2,445. We may not need it, but I just want to have approval for it in case we have it. But like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to solicit some funds.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any, well, first I'll take public comment and then I'm going to take questions. Ruben, any public comment?
Seeing none.
Okay, great. And in the room? Okay, great. So do we have questions from our task force? Anyone?
Oh, can you just state the actual date and time? Because.
Oh, yeah,
19th
it's
is
gonna
on
be,
Wednesday.
yeah, it's not on Juneteenth, which is June 19th. So we're gonna be celebrating it on Saturday, June 15th from 3:30 to 6:30 PM.
Okay, that sounds great. And I also want to thank Ruben. This has been a labor of love. Ruben, how many years has it been now?
Their
3?
fourth year.
Fourth year. How did I, okay, fourth year. That's amazing. So thank you, Ruben. I know it's a lot of work and we're very excited. Okay, so anybody else have anything? Okay, so now I'm going to move over to town staffing. Yes.
Madam Chair, this is an action item. The board should make a recommendation to increase the funding.
Yes, yes.
And a recommendation
you.
to council to increase the funding for the Juneteenth event
Thank you.
by $2,445.
You're our town attorney tonight, Greg.
Yes.
Greg is our town manager for anyone who doesn't know. So anyway. And okay, so is there a motion to increase to make a recommendation to the town council for an additional $2,445 of event funding?
I'll move it.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Any abstentions? Okay, great. So thank you, Greg. Now I'm going to move on to town staffing and I believe
Maybe I'll frame it and then maybe Greg and Chief Jean will talk about the program that's in place.
okay, perfect.
Great.
That sounds great.
So the town staffing pillar is one of the 3 pillars of the strategic plan, along with community engagement and policing. And the goal for this particular pillar was to provide training for the town, including the police department staff and also the larger elected and appointed town officials. And so I'm pleased that Greg and Michelle have been able to identify a partner and move forward with some programming. So would love for you to share a little bit more about them. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just give a broad overview. As Tina mentioned, the town has now contracted with a partner, Bias Sync, to provide unconscious or implicit bias training to any number of folks. The contract we signed actually gives us the ability to have more or less a couple of hundred seats using the program. We've chosen to pilot this program with the police department, and I believe it was launched three weeks ago, perhaps. And I'll let the chief speak a little bit to how that's going. But what Tina mentioned was our next step is going to be, we'll be rolling it out to the rest of the town employees in the next week or two, but we have plenty of seats available. And one of the ideas that came up was offering it to elected and appointed officials, which we're happy to do. And we could do that as soon as probably a couple of weeks. And the way it works, and maybe the chief can give a little more detail, is, there's an assessment you do when you first sign on. That information is yours and yours only, meaning you get the information, no one else sees it. That even in the case of the employees, we don't see individual results from any of our employees' assessments. And then there's a series of, I think they call them micro learnings or micro trainings, that based on the assessment, there'll be some recommendations on some of these micro trainings that you can take. And there's a whole menu of that are available under this program. So that's the short version, and maybe the chief, maybe you can give us a little sense of how it's going at the police department since you folks launched it.
Yeah, it seems to be going great so far. It was rolled out about 3 weeks ago, and I was expecting to get the assessments within 2 months, but it was the micro learnings already started. They sent them out this week. So initially what we did was take the assessment test, which took about 2 hours. They take that information, they roll all the information into an aggregated system. I'm not a mathematician. I have no idea what they do with the information, but basically they tailor it to the overall makeup of the department. So it's not just for one individual, it's tailored for the whole department. Everybody took the test. It's mandatory. We talked about the scenarios that they gave to us. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse today. Everybody treats it seriously. We sit in separate rooms, we take the test, then we come back together and discuss what we took, what we thought of the results, and move forward with that. I'm losing my voice, sorry. It was interesting though, because I really didn't think we'd receive the micro learnings until possibly June. So it was exciting to come back on Monday and see that they'd already shipped or emailed out the assessments to us. So it's great. Sorry.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. I want to take public comment first, and then I'm gonna bring it back for questions of everyone here. So do we have any public comment in the room? And do we have any online?
Seeing none.
Do we have, could you let us know how many people are online? If there's anyone online?
Well, the ARC is online.
Okay.
He's on. And we have our member Howie Awash has logged on as well.
Okay.
So she's listening and observing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I don't see public comment. I'm going to take it back to the task force, but I first want to start off by recognizing our chief of police and thanking her for bringing this training to the town, and actually for everything you're doing on behalf of diversity and training and diversifying our Tiburon PD. So I want to start there, and I want to say I did have one question about the training. I was reading the attachment, and I was wondering, is there a certification at the end, or what happens when someone finishes the training?
They can provide a certification or a certificate of completion, but this is ongoing training and continuous training. They update the micro learnings, they add new content, so it's an ongoing process. That's
Okay.
another reason why I really liked it, because it's continual monthly training.
Okay, great. So I'll open it up for questions, comments.
I have a question. I have a
Karen?
comment
Yes.
question. Thank you, Chief Jean. And I wanted to sort of just know how some of the micro learnings were, like how long were they?
The first one was just sent out this week, and it was 6 minutes long. There was an intro, 3.5 minutes, answer some questions, and then it covered some of the same material again. There's actually printed out information that you could download to have discussions with your troops if you want to, which I did.
So each officer did it individually, those 6 minutes, and then you can, if you want to, then come and talk about it with the whole
Yeah,
group.
everybody has a month to complete each micro learning. So each month, a new micro learning is sent out to the individuals.
And it sounds very doable, right? Because it's so, they're short little, that's why they're called micro learnings.
Correct.
And it sounds like something that would be, do you think it would be something that would be, I think we're thinking about it for the whole town, correct? Or we already
When
have,
you say the whole town, we are definitely going to have all the rest of the town employees.
that's what I mean,
begin-
employees, not
Yep.
the town of Tiburon.
We'll be rolling it out to the rest of the town employees, again, in probably the next couple of weeks. The
Great.
police department represents just about half of the town employees. I would also note that it's not just one assessment. I believe the first assessment that we had employees do was related to race. There are other assessments that you can do that focus on other subjects like LGBTQ, I think gender, and they also have their associated micro learning. So it's sort of it's not just one and
Okay.
done. It's a kind of a continuous
Ongoing.
process we're hoping to go through with this group. And, have a relationship with them over a period of time as opposed to just one engagement.
Right, I think that's what I think Chief Jean is saying, that it's kind of seems like it's gonna be productive. Let's see, right? Because it is those tiny learning segments and it goes on and updates. I was wondering if we have thought about having some of the commission members doing some of these trainings. Is that?
I think that it's anticipated that we'd have 3 cohorts, starting with the pilot with the police department, followed by the town staff. And then the proposal is for all of us and also the town commissioners to be able to participate in a 3rd cohort. And I'd love to hear comments from this group on whether you'd be supportive.
I would be so supportive because I remember a while ago when we were first doing our house and I went before the planning commission, Mark and I, and they said some of them, they're no longer there, these commissioners, but one said something so horrible, like, about our house, saying that it was ugly. This is the ugliest design. And it's, our house is like, it's sort of very, I don't know, kind of like Latino mission style, California, Spanish style. So I think that I'm not saying that there are commissioners now that are not that, educated about diversity, but I think it would be great for other people to be exposed to this, not just us, talking to each other, that we all are good on this, but I think it would be helpful for the rest of the town and the commissioners. Thank you.
So I didn't get a chance actually to thank Tina Peccaday for all this work. And also to thank our town manager for opening this up to boards and commissions. And, it's part of the training that I think we as a council have been trying to do for a while. And, there's general training, but the diversity training is so important for all boards and commissions and employees. So I'm super excited to see this happening. So that's my comment.
It's a point of question for the cohort for the town commissioners and this group in particular. Do we need to specify an action item or can we move forward with that without one?
I don't think we need an action item because we've already taken action on the strategic plan and this is a component of it. There's also not a monetary allocation, so we don't need an action item. I think everyone would support it. So if anyone doesn't, you can talk about that today, but I think I'm so grateful and thank you for all your work. And for people who don't know, Tina is also one of the experts in the field. So we're getting, a task force member and an expert. Okay, so we're moving on now to
Excuse me,
policing.
Chair, before we move on, we should ask for public comment.
I thought I did at the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
I don't,
We did.
okay.
But I'll do it again, just in case I did it.
case.
In case I didn't, I'll do it again. So is there any public comment in the room? Is there any public comment online?
Seeing none.
Okay, great. So now I'm gonna move to policing. And I believe Karen, you are going to talk about the last citizen advisory panel report.
Yes.
Great.
All right, so I went to the Citizens Advisory Panel meeting with Chief Jean and the other members. And we talked about various things, but I'm just gonna do a quick summary. We talked about the disengagement training that Chief Jean wants the officers to participate in de-escalation training for when responding to mentally ill persons who are armed or barricaded and in crisis. And this would be for police officers and peace officers only, just to calm people down, basically, so that it doesn't get out of hand. We also talked about the pledge, which is a pledge that Chief Jean wants all officers to sign, that basically is a pledge to uh, to understand their biases and to try to prevent bias in their decisions. And so we talked about the latest draft of the pledge that the officers are going to be asked to sign. Then we also talked about the new patrol vehicles. There's some new ones that we're going to have. Instead of just the white ones, they're going to have more reflectors and have some more black so that you can see them better. Then we talked a little bit about unconscious bias as well. And then we also talked about the launch of Bias Sync. I had also gone through and done a test of Bias Sync myself that Chief Jean sent to me and to others on the CAP, and I liked it too. And I had a lot of questions about it, and they answered most of my questions when I wrote directly to Bias Sync. So I was pretty impressed with them too. They didn't answer all of my questions because I had so many, but they answered most of my questions. Let's see, and then we talked about the bike patrol, that officers will be on bike patrols now to increase community engagement for events and also, just on patrol. Because the trucks, are very expensive. And so this is a good idea too, to save money, is to have the police be on bike patrol. And then we talked about the Lights On project, which is an initiative to pay for broken brake lights for people who can't afford it. Like it's a stipend. It may not cover the whole brake light, but it's up to $250. And it would only be about $2,000 or $3,000 per year for the town of Tiburon to have to pay for that, based on the numbers that we have. And that's about it. I think I covered. Then we talked about some crime statistics and the robbery suspect we had. And how Tiburon, the investigation by our officers really led to the identity of this robbery suspect. So they're doing a good job.
Okay, great. Since we have the chief here, I would like to ask our chief if she'd like to talk about any of those items so we can take advantage of your presence tonight.
Exactly. Yes, I would. We've almost launched our black and white units. We've changed and the color of the car from white to black and white. And the reason why we're doing that is to be a lot more visible out to the public. With the white cars tend to blend into the background. Also, the graphics are highly reflective at night and during the day, which I didn't know that they were going to be reflective during the day. So it's quite a change. The first person who's been driving around with the new graphics is our police service aide. We purposely kept her car white and labeled it with police service aide to distinguish her as not a police officer. We don't want to put her in harm's way, but we do want her out there and being visible. So that's very exciting. I believe the first official launch of our black and white vehicle will be the Ford F-150, which is the EV. It's being outfitted and we had a problem with the computer screen, so we're delayed probably another week. And then we'll get the graphics on it. And I'll make sure we get a picture and I send it out to everybody so they know what they'll be looking for. So we should have 2 black and whites out I'd say within the next 2 months, but hopefully the first one in 2 weeks. The bicycle patrol seems to be a hit with the community and seems to be a hit with the officers. They formally trained with SFPD 2 weeks ago for the traditional bikes, and they're doing a follow-up training for the e-bikes on May 15th. So we have 3 officers that are officially trained. I'm officially trained, but it might have been a few years ago. But I'm looking forward to it. We purchased one new e-bike, so we have two e-bikes that we can utilize riding around town and on Old Rail Trail. And I did buy two traditional bicycles. Jack's gonna laugh at me because he doesn't think I can ride up those hills, but I'm gonna give it a try. No,
Gil Martin.
yeah, I'm a traditionalist. So I want my traditional bike. Sorry, Greg. Got a really good price on two of them though, so I couldn't say no.
That'll collect dust after you ride the e-bike.
But I'm really excited to not only myself get out there, captain, one of the PSAs, Cindy's really wanting to get out there too. I rode bicycle patrol in San Francisco for many years, and if I had $1 for every picture I post for, I would probably would have stayed retired. But it's a lot of fun and it's great community. It's great to reach out to the community because you're so accessible. You're not riding too fast. You get off your bike a lot and talk to people and talk to the businesses. Like I said, the officers are really excited about it. We've had almost weekly two officers. Twice a week have been going out so far, and we're trying to do it on every watch if we can, but we have to have 2 officers that are working. And I think that's the biggest thing. We look forward to launching the Lights Out program too. I think it's gonna need a little more funding than that. I'm looking to ask for maybe $10,000 just to start with.
Oh,
I just want to make sure it's fully funded, so we are able to offer that to individuals who are pulled over. And we deem that they would probably be it'd be beneficial for them to be issued a fix-it ticket that actually pays for the fix-it ticket instead of an actual citation. Good community engagement too.
Well, that sounds like a fabulous program, and I think everyone here can see how lucky we are to have you as our police chief. So thank you for your work, and I'll take any questions, comments. Anyone on Karen's report on the chief? Follow up, anybody? Just, okay.
Quick question, because I'd never heard of the Lights Out program before. So do they have to be residents of Marin, Tiburon, or how does that work? Just
We're gonna leave it up to interpretation right now. We have a lot of people that drive in to work during the day, during nighttime hours. I would say if you're driving a Porsche, I'm probably not gonna give you a
that's what I was saying.
a
who makes
pass.
these lights out?
If there's a need and when we think that there's a need, we'll definitely be issuing that type of, it's not a citation, but it's not a fix-it ticket. It's a coupon to get your equipment fixed.
Thank you.
right.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we will move on now to communications.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I
I'm
still have
sorry.
to- There's a second part to policing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the RIPA too.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So also, again, just like Tina said, we talked about town staffing. This is the third pillar or the third pillar of our strategic plan is policing, right? And creating bias-free policing. So the CAP is how I'm involved in terms of the Citizens Advisory Panel. And then the other thing is the RIPA assessment. So I printed out, or Leah attached the latest statistics on RIPA from our Tiburon website. And I just put it out there for everyone to see. And that's it. And I do have a question though for the chief, because on some of the RIPA data. On that last page, where you have the graphs, where it says reason for stop, it says race, and it just has a two. I didn't understand what that meant. Do you see that?
Yeah, Karen, right now we're having a problem with the vendor who updates our website. I have sent 2 emails. The last one was on Monday and haven't had a response back. The data on the pie charts is not stretched out far enough. So if you look at the stop reason by percentage, it's covered by that first graph for reason for stop race. And then it says reason for stop race 3 times. That's not the correct headings. So I've asked to have that changed and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Yeah, that one.
And I need an answer sooner than later since we're paying this vendor to do the work.
Okay, that'd be great. And if we could have, okay, good.
And this information is updated on a monthly basis. It was just updated, I believe, or should be updated by the end of this week. Before it was reported quarterly. I wanted it to be reported monthly, so that's what we're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. So now I'm gonna move on to communications.
Can I just?
Oh, yes, please go ahead. Mayor Fredericks.
I'm sure. you thought this already, but I also found the color coding of the pie charts is not related to anything else.
Right. That's true.
Hi, Howie. It's
okay.
With the colors next, really have no disagreement.
We're talking about the ribbon. That-
Rather than the color, just an odd way to make it makes it less transparent.
I'm looking to work with a vendor, or I might be looking at another vendor. Especially if I can't get an answer from them. So I've reached out to a couple of police chiefs to see what or who they're utilizing to report this information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
Well, I think in the future, we're looking to maybe assess this and compare it to the population of, of either Marin County, and I'm working on that. But it's not gonna be in this, in this report. It'll be in the
Okay.
future.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, I'm gonna now move on to the introduction of our new at-large member, Howie Awash. We are so excited to have you. I have the pleasure of serving with Howie on Destination Tiburon, and I know that she's been a member of many other boards in town, including the citizens, the CAP board with the police. So I want to take a moment to really welcome you. And I'm going to have you, if you'd like to say a few words, and then I'm going to ask everyone else if they'd like to say a few words about you. So.
Is my mic back on now? Oh, okay, great. Hi, everybody. First of all, I'm so sorry that I'm late. And thank you all for being very patient. My name is Howie. I'm sure most of you know me. I'm so excited to be a part of this group, and I'm really looking forward to contributing my little bit to make Tiburon more inclusive. I want to thank the town council members, the manager, Holly, you as well, and also the diversity task force for taking swift action and coming together and doing all this amazing work that you've all been doing for the past, now almost 4 years, right? It's crazy how time flies. And Captain Jane, you've been so great to us, and I just really do love working with you, and how, you're on your feet and you're always willing to take action and listen and put work into this whole thing. That makes me very proud. I now have 2 kids, and I want to say that, when they're growing up in Tiburon, I want them to be proud Tiburon citizens. And I'm hoping to do my little bit to make that a reality for them. And I just want to encourage us all to keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for having me on this group.
Great, thank you. I'd like to ask if my colleagues would like to make comments or say welcome, or you don't have to, but if you want to, please do.
Well, Howie, I think you're going to be a terrific welcome addition to this community. I think we're striving for the same thing, more inclusive community, trying to be a leader for all of Marin County to make it more inclusive, diverse, and welcoming, and leave the place better for our children than we start with. And so I know you're an amazing contributor. I'm happy to have you as my co-chair for Juneteenth, and we're going to continue to make some great cultural awareness celebrations for the community. So thank you and welcome.
Also, just a huge thank you for agreeing to participate. I know you're involved in lots of different things, and I think your vantage point in particular was sorely missing on this council, and we're very, very pleased that you're here.
Okay, great. So again, welcome. I see our mayor grabbing the mic. Would you like to? Or were you just grabbing the mic?
You know, I don't have anything more.
Sometimes echo is the most eloquent thing. Thank you. Okay, I am now going to move to item number 5, communications. I'm going to ask first if there's any public comment in the room, online.
Seeing none.
Okay, great. And I think this is Ruben. The first one is Ruben, I believe.
Yeah, so just, there was a request made by the city of Belvedere. They have a fair actually on the same day as Juneteenth. That's why it's becoming a destination weekend. They like to spread the word about the various organizations in the community. And they were just requesting to see if we could get a volunteer because they can provide a booth. This is traditionally information session and barbecue. I think it runs 12 to 2, if I recollect correctly, on June 15th. And so that would sort of involve having a booth. If we have any brochures or a banner, which I don't think we have yet, but these are all ideas that could be helpful for the future. And I would love to partake since it's my hood, but I'll be a little bit busy with Juneteenth that day. So if anyone can step up, I think it'd be great to educate our fellow like Tiburonites and Belvedereans about what we're doing.
Okay.
We would have a booth at their event.
But it is Juneteenth as well. So it's our event too that day. So I want people to be aware of that. I'm not discouraging volunteers. I'm just putting that out there.
Where are they going? I'm sorry, can I ask?
Sure.
Where are they gonna be?
Oh, no,
What
so
part
it's
of the
just,
town?
it's just gonna be on the, in Belvedere Park. And it's gonna end
There.
before our event. I think it's 12 to 2, so it'll be before our
ours.
event, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And do we have any volunteers? You can also feel free to contact Ruben, offline, not in the meeting. So I'm gonna also move on to posting of cultural celebrations, including Nowruz.
Hi,
This is Nushan.
Hi, yes, this was just a short item. It's come up in some of our ad hoc committee meetings when we talked about communications and community engagement. We have a lot of great press, photos from our events, and I just wanted to bring up if there's interest and even technical feasibility to figure out how to archive a bit on the actual DITF page. And if this is something I would have to.
Yeah,
work with the town.
Definitely for, it sounds like you're asking about DITF sponsored events.
Yes,
that what
like
you're referring to?
our page within the Town of Tiburon page.
Definitely. We can work together and come up with something good.
Okay, great.
Okay, go ahead,
Do you
please.
mean like posting the pictures of the events?
Like an archive of the photos of the events, and then we actually get like really nice press, so it could be like media coverage or things like that too, because it's a nice record of like all the great work, and it's starting to build up now into 4 years, so.
No.
Yeah.
then we should- I should have-
It's crazy. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, actually, because that would allow everyone to see what we're doing. Kind of more of a visual. And I know there's a lot of photos as well from these events. I know I take a lot of them, but okay, so we're gonna move on to a new item, Diversity Inclusion Task Force Community Awards. So I'll talk a little bit about this. We are now 4 years old, which I can't believe it. We're almost out of the infant stage, right? And I thought it would be a good idea at this moment in time to start a yearly Diversity Inclusion Task Force Community Awards. So the idea is for tonight to kind of, just see who's interested in participating on this. I think the first awards probably wouldn't be given out until the fall of next year. The subcommittee would meet on Zoom or in person if possible. And it's really just the idea is that now that we've been doing the work, we really need to honor the people, in the town and community who are really helping make Tiburon more diverse and inclusive. So that's the idea. And I wanted to throw it out there and see what people thought.
I have a question. Who would get, like, what would be the criteria?
Well, that's what the subcommittee
what we'll
would
come up
do.
with.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that the biggest criteria is helping to make Tiburon more diverse and inclusive.
But what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what the subcommittee
Maybe we'll come up
would
with
kind of
something.
figure out. You know, so I want to see what people think.
I just want to say, I think it's a great idea to recognize all the work that people are putting in and making the change that we'd like to see. So very supportive.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, and would anyone like to be on the committee? I know I do, but it's my idea, so I don't want to be the only one on the committee because that would not be good. So if anyone wants to join me,
I can join you as well.
okay. Anyone else?
I can join you.
Okay. Mayor Fredericks. No, you're too busy. I know, she's on everything. Okay, okay. Okay, well, anybody, you can join at any time, so, yeah, okay, this is fantastic, and I don't think I took public comment on this yet, because people didn't really know what it was, so, I'll do public comment now on this. I'm not seeing anyone in the room coming to the mic,
I do have somebody online.
okay,
I will recognize Lynn Feinerman.
okay,
Hello, I don't have a comment
Lynn, can you
about
hear us?
the awards idea, but I have limited time today and I wanted to make certain that I participated in order to welcome Howie Awash to the Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. I was very glad to hear that Howie would join the task force. So that's all I'm here to say, and very grateful for her participation. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That's so sweet.
Okay, do we have any more comments?
On the particular agenda item, or
It's public comment now, but
do you want, are you looking for the public? Are
the
we-
public, now we're on public comment.
Seeing nothing further.
Okay, great. Did you want to say something else? You
Yes,
can,
if this is
sure.
open time for the task force members too. I wonder, since we kind of wait till the last minute to have a clue of what the agendas are, if we might have some kind of discussion, or at least some suggestions in open time of what the next agenda item.
Sure, I think we've always been open to that. And just for the new members, anyone who has an item, can reach out to me. Also our vice chair, Tina, you can reach out to both of us. So if you have something you want to put on the agenda, that's kind of how it works. And members are also free to bring it up at public comment during the meeting as well. Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to make it clear that this is. Talk about what are we doing.
I'm guessing you might
Okay,
want to do
so-
a report back, the next agenda.
Yeah,
the
we're not,
idea.
we're not gonna do the agenda right
okay,
now.
yeah,
We're just saying that if people want to make comments, yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to do the
the
agenda
next
right now,
agenda.
no. Okay, we do have 3 minutes and there's another meeting. So I just want to thank everyone. I think this has been a great meeting. I'm excited about all the events coming up, and I'm very excited about the training that's happening. And I'm excited to welcome Howie. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you. Thank you.